You watch a powerful video late at night, a speech, a transformation story. The screen glows in the dark, and suddenly something inside you wakes up. Your heart beats faster, your mind clears, and you decide that tomorrow, everything changes. You open your notes app and create a perfect plan. Wake up at 5 a.m., exercise, study, eat clean, no wasted time. For a few minutes in that dark room, you adopt an entirely new, disciplined identity. Day 1 feels effortless. The alarm rings and you get up. The streets are quiet, the air is cold, and you run entirely on the high of a novel experience. Day 2 introduces subtle friction. The body feels the strain of yesterday's workout. The bed feels warmer. You still force yourself out from under the covers, but willpower is now doing the heavy lifting. That initial surge of energy is a predictable emotional reaction, a chemical spike that lacks the structure of a permanent habit.
Then comes the third morning. The alarm rings, and the emotional excitement that powered the first 2 days is gone. You find yourself staring at the ceiling in the dark. The internal negotiation begins. I slept late. I can restart tomorrow. I don't feel like it today. You hit snooze, and the entire routine collapses in seconds. You wake up later to sunlight filling the room, and the immediate feeling is intense guilt. You internalize the collapse as a sign of permanent laziness. The disappearance of motivation follows a biological system operating exactly as it was built to. To understand why our plans fail, we must move past questions of morality and analyze our biology. Motivation acts as a temporary emotional shock. It is triggered when you recognize the gap between your current reality and a desired future. Your brain releases a burst of energy to pursue this new lifestyle because the brain thrives on novelty. This diagram represents cognitive conservation. The brain has a biological mandate to save energy, achieving this by protecting familiar, low-energy routines. By day 3, novelty wears off. The brain examines the ambitious 5 a.m. routine and recognizes it as sustained, exhausting work. The brain views sudden, massive self-improvement as a threat to its energy reserves. Attempting to change everything at once triggers this internal threat response. The brain deploys specific defense mechanisms to force a retreat. It manufactures physical tiredness, creates extreme boredom, and logical excuses to rest. These feelings arise because the brain prioritizes familiar, low-energy problems over unfamiliar, high-energy solutions. In hour 0, imagining success was clean and painless. On day 3, the physical execution of that success is uncomfortable and energy-draining. The day 3 crash functions as a successful defense mechanism executed by the brain to protect its energy reserves against sudden lifestyle changes. Lasting change begins the moment the excitement leaves. Instead of making grand promises to overhaul your life, find the smallest repeatable version of change that you can execute even when your motivation is absent. Downscale the ambition. Do 10 push-ups instead of a 1-hour workout. Do 20 minutes of focused work instead of an entire evening. This micro-habit carries a biological advantage. It is small enough to bypass the brain's energy conservation threat response. Downsizing ambitions to their smallest form avoids biological resistance, turning day 3 into an open door rather than a dead end. When you complete a tiny action on the third morning, you do it without the need for an emotional fire. That completed micro-action acts as identity proof. It provides tangible evidence that you can keep promises without relying on extreme intensity. The goal is becoming a person who acts regardless of mood, moving past the need to chase a specific feeling every day. You shift your internal dialogue to, I don't feel like it, but I will do the next small thing. Motivation gets you to the starting line, but only the repetition of tiny habits keeps you in the race when the background music stops.